So the next part is when the character jumps, it fires a firework or an explosion. Okay, so I'm going to go back to scene. So what we'd need then is, if I go to standard assets, again, particle systems and prefab, so we need to find what we want to actually use. Let's have a look. Wildfire. I'll just see what wildfire looks like. Okay. Can't. Okay, that's wildfire. Okay. So I'll stop that. So what I'll do then, it looked like there was a slight delay, but we can change that actually. If I come here. Oh no, there isn't a delay. You can, there are options here. This is your, so this is wildfire. This is your particle effect. If you scroll down, you've got a huge amount of options here, like color over lifetime. Some of them you haven't got the option, but on some of them actually, if I do flare, see what this one is. Okay. Okay, color over lifetime. So what you can do is click on that, and then it can change, you can change the color of it. So you can change from, say, I don't know, a reddish color. So when you, if I click on game, so then it goes like more of a reddish color to a whitish color. So you've got these sort of options on some of them anyway. I'll do the flare mobile actually. Okay, I'm going to drag it. I'm also going to, oops, click on here. So I don't want any delay at the start of it. It says duration 5, I'll keep that. Maximum particles, shape. You can really just sort of play around with some of these things. Some of them, okay, velocity over time, rotation speed. There are a lot, I mean, you basically just click and then see what happens. I think on a lot of them, maybe this one is switched off, but oh, you can. Okay, but for the moment, if it was, I'm going to just rotate it, because you can rotate, I'll just click on stop. You can rotate the particle effects, just like you can any character. So you can rotate it. It might not make too much difference to this one, but I wanted to look like it was firing out some kind of firework. So if I click on play, okay, it's a little bit hit and miss. I think if I click there, I'm just going to zoom in. So I'm going to move the particle effect so it's near the character. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is actually drag it onto the character so it becomes part of it. I'll just press stop. So I'm going to go back to assets, and then this one is the code that we were just using for this character, anim firework. Okay, so I'll go back to the code, and we're just going to add a bit more into this code. So the character not only jumps but then fires this flare mobile. So this flare mobile is a particle system. Okay, so we go back to the code. Now the code that I'd written earlier, I've just got here. So I'm going to highlight that and just paste it there. Okay, and then go back to here. Highlight this. So this is the code that's probably, if I go back to here. Okay. So this is the code that's connecting that particle effect, and actually tells it originally to stop. So you don't want it to play when you first play the movie. You want it to play when you press the spacebar, and that will then play that animation. Okay, because the particle effect is basically an animation. So if you press File and Save, okay, and then I'll just try and compile that, hopefully. Okay, and if that compiles, you should be able to then go back to Unity. Okay, I'll just click here. Okay, once you're back into Unity, the only thing you have to do, you click on your character, this is now the code. But there's one bit you have to do is actually attach that, okay, to your particle system. That's this bit of code here. Now what should happen, if we press play, so if this works, when you hit the spacebar, it should jump, and also it should trigger this flare mobile. That one is from that's the 5-second delay that we've just done. So now if I press space, okay, so the character jumps. So what I could do, click on game objects, maybe just untick that and just try that again. Okay, so now we shouldn't see that 5-second delay. There you go. So you press your spacebar and you have that flare mobile. Okay. Now if you wanted it to make it look like it was firing something, like a lightning bolt, well, what you would do is just go to Standard Assets, Particle Systems, have a look in the prefabs, see what they do, and then you can edit them a little bit. Okay, to try to make it look more like a lightning effect. Well, so there are quite sort of complicated, I've got that on there. So there are quite complicated animation effects, basically. So that's it. That's the beginnings of how you add a little bit more to your animations.